February 2020, Ireland experienced prolonged periods of heavy rainfall. Many weather stations had their wettest February on record, including the Phoenix Park in Dublin and Malin Head in Donegal. Records at these two stations go back to the year 1850. In the south, Garteen in County Tipperary recorded 220 millimetres. The average for this station is 62. The biggest downpours were experienced in the west. A total of 342 millimetres fell at Newport in County Mayo. This led to extensive flooding in places, especially along the River Shannon. The Shannon is Ireland's longest river. It stretches 360 kilometres from its source on the border between counties Cavan and Fermanagh to the estuary in the southwest. It drains the Shannon River Basin, which has an area of almost 17,000 square kilometres. So that's about a fifth of the island. Flooding occurred in a number of areas along the river, but for this video I'm going to focus on one section of the lower Shannon, specifically this area between the Partine Weir and Limerick. At the top of the screen you can see the Partine Weir. Here the river is divided in two. The channel on the left is a 14-kilometre man-made canal. It carries water to the hydroelectric station at Ardnacrusha. The channel on the right is the natural course of the river. This section, known locally as the Old Shannon, has suffered from severe flooding in recent years. So what kind of satellite data can we use? In this case, I used data from the Copernicus program. So this program is headed by the European Commission in partnership with the European Space Agency. Copernicus gathers Earth data from a family of satellites known as Sentinels. So this data is freely available to the public. Satellites, each satellite has a specific duty. For this video I used data from Sentinels 1 and 2. So let's look at Sentinel-2 first. It acquires optical and multispectral images at resolutions between 10 and 60 metres. One of the drawbacks of using an optical satellite is cloud cover. So this is a Sentinel-2 image I downloaded from January 27th. So it's just before the flood. Very clear image. We can see our area. On the left is the channel that feeds the power station. To the right we see the natural river channel. Let's switch over here to another Sentinel-2. So this is from February 23rd, and it's you can see a problem here. This is the best image I could find for late February when the flooding was at its worst. You can just about make out the river, and if we follow we can see this dark area, maybe a flooded area. It's impossible to know for certain. Because flood events are usually linked to cloudy conditions, images from optical satellites such as Sentinel-2 can be a bit hit and miss. But we have another option, and Sentinel-1, it's highly developed radar instruments see through clouds and rain during day and night. So as it does not depend on solar illumination or weather conditions, it is suitable to monitor emergencies such as floods. So here's a Sentinel-1 image I downloaded. It's from January 27th. It has the regular appearance of a radar image, white to black. The dark region here is the lake above the Partine Weir, and here you have the river as it makes its way towards Limerick. This bright region here is Limerick City. So urban areas are white, water black, vegetation in various shades of grey. And again, this is from before the flood. So I want to switch over to an image from February 26th. We see a slight change in the image. See these dark areas that have appeared. And remember, dark areas mean water. So if I just go back again and we can compare. And if I just split the screen, you can see on the left you can see the image from February. These dark areas are flooded. So I've identified areas where flooding has occurred. My next step is to inspect this area here on the edge of Limerick and also this larger area. So we have some drone footage here. The River. It's a smaller tributary. It flows into the Shannon. You can see the natural channel of the Shannon in the distance. It's completely burst its banks. I'm just going to highlight the natural channel. Just highlighted in red. Now we're a bit closer. This is a recognized floodplain. So there's no building in No buildings in this area. Quite a lot of farmland was affected by these floods, but it didn't really affect residential area. So here we have a Google Earth image of what it normally looks like. And we'll go have a look at our second site. So if you remember from the radar image, a much larger area was flooded here. And again, extensive damage to farmland. So just to get an idea of the area that was flooded here, I exported the satellite data into a geographic information system. you can see here this area we're looking at in the top left corner, it's 7.9 square kilometres were flooded. A smaller area outside Limerick, 2.7 kilometres. And this upper region, 4.2 square kilometres were flooded there. So just about the software I've used for visualization here, I use QGIS, and for processing the satellite data, I use Snap, which is ESA's. It's their own software that they developed to process satellite images. And I'll leave you with some more footage of the floods around Limerick. Thanks for watching.